Hello, fellow space enthusiasts. Dirk13 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. This is episode number 18. Let's see, what happened in episode 17? We put a satellite in orbit of Duna. It was just amazeballs. I mean, the first satellite to orbit another planet in the system, in the Kerbal system, if you will. Unfortunately, I thought I was recording in between videos, and I pulled all the science out of it. I got 100 science for doing the analyzing the biome scan data, and then I also unlocked some stuff in between videos. I apologize again. Let's see if I can remember exactly what we got here. Electronics we had. Unmanned tech I unlocked. Let's see, what was the other one? Command modules, and I think there was one more. But yeah. So what are we going to do in episode 18 here, you may ask? Well, we have two missions. Well, one mission to build an orbital station around Kerbin. And to do that, we are going to have to do it in two parts, at least two parts. And we're going to have to rendezvous. We're going to have to connect the two pieces of the station together in orbit. Otherwise, it'd just be too big, and it's not really feasible to send that whole thing up there. So, off camera, I went ahead and I built the first part of our KSS, the Kerbal Space Station. Sorry, I had to get that right in my head. And here it is. I totally overdid it with the Delta V. The main reason for that being is part of the contract is we need to have at least 4,000 liters of fuel in the space station to complete the contract. So we're only going to end up using about half the Delta V in this tank here, hopefully. And then we'll be able to refuel it with the second piece, hopefully completing the mission. We'll see how it goes. It is also worth noting that we unlocked the MechJeb automated ascent. So I'm going to use that to put us into orbit. But before we do that, we do have to put Kerbals in here. And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I think we're going to hire some new Kerbals. Now, it says we only need... it says we have to have capacity for five Kerbals? 5 or 6? 6 Kerbals. But doesn't mean we have to put 6 Kerbals up there. I want to hire a scientist, a scientist, I guess, who's do nothing but sit up there in the space station for a couple of years. And let's see, who is a fun name here? And a scientist. Leet. Leet, I think you're our man. You're hired. Alright. So, let's go to the launch pad. We are going to pull up the KSS base. We're going to take Jebediah out of there, and Leet, you are going in. There we are. Let's launch you. MechJeb is on here, so everything's going to be automated. We don't actually have to have a pilot, like most of our satellites, essentially. And we are going to use ascent guidance from MechJeb here. So, I don't think I've explained this yet because I was kind of holding off showing this until we actually unlocked it. But here it is. What you do is you open up the MechJeb tab and go to ascent guidance. There it is. You put in how high you want your orbit to be. For this, I'm actually going to say... let's say 100 kilometers. It seems pretty good. And then all the rest of the settings, you're going to just want to keep default. Otherwise, it does screw with a lot of things. If for some reason auto deploy solar panels or auto warp is not checked, go ahead and check it. We are then going to hit engage autopilot and spacebar to launch. And now we let MechJeb do all the work. Let's just sit back and watch. I'm actually leaning back in my chair to prove my point here. MechJeb is a great tool. I love it. I won't lie, I used quite a bit of it off camera. But for the purpose of the Let's Play, I think it's fine. It sped things along pretty well. So I was able to go and do ascent guidance while I was writing notes or something like that, or rendering a video, that kind of thing. Um, so yeah, there's my speech about ascent guidance from MechJeb. Let's see, what else can we talk about while this thing is flying through the air at 240 meters a second and climbing? Um, it's almost Oscar time, guys. It's a big deal for me and the business I am in. Um, we're getting a lot of Oscar movies back at the movie theaters. Um, what's your guys' bet for favorite movie or best movie of the year? Personally, I'm probably gonna go with my. Sounds funny. My heart says The Martian, but I know The Martian's not gonna win Best Picture. It's probably gonna be something. I'm gonna go ahead and guess. Um, Revenant. The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. I think that is going to be named Best Film of the Year. I don't agree with it, but it was a good film. Best Actor. Again, I would love to say Matt Damon. Probably not going to happen. Leonardo DiCaprio is probably not going to get it either, which they really need to stop tugging that poor guy's chain. Look at how happy Lee Kerman is down there. That poor guy. He doesn't even know what he's in for. Let's see, how much life support did I put on this guy? Let's see, you have 13 years worth of life support. Ah, Lee, you poor bastard. Totally overdid it with the life support. The main reason being I just didn't want to fiddle around with it a lot in between videos. I just wanted to leave it and not worry about it for a while. Anyway, yeah. Otherwise, Best Actor. Like I said, I would love it to go to Matt Damon. But I really also hope Bryan Cranston gets it for Trumbo. If you guys didn't see Trumbo, it's a fantastic movie about a writer who this was back in the day. Let's see, what was I think it was took place during in the 50s I want to say, and he was a writer who was accused of being a communist, and there was all sorts of wibbly wob and blah blah blah, and everyone's upset with him, but he still wrote scripts and stuff under a pen name, which was pretty cool. And I mean, everyone loves Brian. Look at all the solar panels I put on this damn thing. Look at that. Yeah, this thing is gonna run out of power. Anyway, Bryan Cranston. Everyone loves him from Breaking Bad. Even then, you go further back. I loved him from Malcolm in the Middle, way back when I was, growing up. It's also worth noting, after our moon ordeal, um, when I had a bitch of a time trying to find the two ships, couldn't see them. I ended up having to turn the ship so I could see the flashing light from the batteries or MechJeb or something like that. I did go ahead and install lights. Hooray! We can light up everything. Turn them off. Just don't want to waste our power. There we are, guys. We are in orbit of Kerbin with the base of our space station. So, we have 1,100 liters of fuel. And I believe everything else is fulfilled from the contract. Oh, that's right. So, this can support 3 Kerbals. So we need to make something that can support 3 more Kerbals and then dock it to this, and that'll complete the contract then, with the liquid fuel, of course. So what are we going to do? We're going to go build our, let's see, nowadays they use space planes for this kind of thing. At least I think. I don't know, in the movies they use space planes to go to the space station. I don't actually know. But we're going to have to go build something to, let's recover all these parts too. We're going to have to build something to go to the space station and dock with it. So, let's spend some time doing that. Alright, we're going to go brand new. We're going to call it the KSS KSS. Oh man, I'm blanking on the name. I'm usually pretty good with names. Docker. Why not? It's kind of lame, but whatever. So we are going to use the Mark II command pod. It supports 3 Kerbals, which will complete that portion of the contract. Right on top of this, we are going to put a docking clamp. It snaps in here really weird. There it is. Okay. So we got our docking clamp in there. You want to grab the command pod and shake it around, make sure it stays. You're good there. Now, this will be coming back into orbit. So, what are we going to need? First things first, a heat shield, 2.5 meter heat shield. There it is. And we're going to need parachutes up the wazoo. I think 3 of these would probably be fine. I'm going to go with 4, though. Yeah, that'll be more than enough. But I blocked the damn entrance. There we go. Good enough. Okay. So this is what's going to come back into orbit of Kerbin. Or come back from orbit of Kerbin. What do we need below this, you may ask? Tons of fuel and some RCS, pretty much. So, structural and Rockomax brandy coupler. There we are. And we're just going to have to overdo it with the fuel. As much as I hate to say it. But we're going to have to really kill it with the fuel to complete this contract with one go. We had 1,100 there. What is this going to give us? This is going to give us 1,400, 2,800. So that's... okay, that should do it. Assuming we don't use all of it from here. We can throw a mainsail in here because I don't care about money at this point. There we go. We are going to need some RCS stuff. RCS, I think I'm just going to strap to the side here. Where are those nice tanks? There they are. You know what? Let's do quad. And then we are going to need the actual RCS thrusters. There. And we'll put another set of them down here just to make this a little easier on ourselves. And that should be plenty of amount of propellant too. More than enough amount of propellant. Wouldn't hurt to also throw on a reaction wheel. You know what? This isn't going to be able to come back from orbit that easily, is it? Didn't really think that portion through. Well, damn. Let's see, how are we going to want to do this then? I really didn't put that much thought into this. Damn. The reason it's not going to be able to come back from orbit is because... well, I guess it could, technically. I mean, we're going to waste an ass ton of fuel. So what's going to happen is, we're going to dock to the space station with this. We're going to refuel the space station's tanks, gas tanks. And then we're going to undock, and then this is going to be floating around. Unless we can find somewhere to put in a probe core. Damn, there we go. And I think that might be our best bet. So if we put in a probe core and then we could just redock it? I don't know. I think we're just going to bite the bullet and say, once we refill the tanks, that's it. We're done with it. Ta-ta. Yeah. That's fine. We do need to throw MechJub on here as well, because I love MechJub. We'll just put it right there above the flag. Okay, now we have to get this into orbit. And we are going to do that with just some basic stuff here. Mainsail. Oh man, that's rough. I do think we're going to have to do this in a third stage, unfortunately. That's fine. I kind of planned on this being the 2-video little arc anyway. Alright, so let's do some asparagus staging, then we'll launch this bad boy. I do want to raise it just a teeny tiny little bit. There we go. Alright, let's put our decouplers on. I'm quite fond of these bigger ones now. No particular reason other than I feel safer with them. Like, things aren't going to go smacking into the ship with them. Speeding along. Something I haven't really shown in a while, the actual building of a ship, right? I figure it was about time. There we go. We'll put the swivels, of course, because the swivel is our bread and butter in this game. And we're going to want everything to launch at the same time, all the engines. No, all the bottom tiered engines anyway. Really, not that much. This is like no Delta V. Okay. I guess we're just going to change things around a little bit. And what we're going to do is take off the docking port. We're going to add a probe core. Let's see. I think we haven't used this one yet. And can we add a mini docking port on the probe core? We cannot. Now we should be able to, though. Hopefully, maybe. I think it's locked in there. But I guess we'll find out. Alright, let's finish our asparagus here. So you guys are dropping off first. That's fine and dandy. Thank you. There we are. Yeah, the Delta V is just really not there. Crap. Alright, well, it sucks, but we are going to have to make this definitely a 2-video arc here. I'm fine with that, though. This is pretty entertaining. Now, if we light all these engines, 1.53, still not the greatest in terms of thrust to weight. And that's fine. We'll take you out, and that'll save us a ton of Delta V. Or thrust to weight. There we go. I'm happy with that. Alright, so now I guess we can't really name this the Docker. This is going to be the KSS gas tank. We do not want any Kerbals in here. And I think we are good to go. Let's go ahead and launch this into orbit. Actually, I'll end the video here. I'll use MechJeb to launch this bad boy into orbit, and then I'll come back before I start, trying to find the space station or anything like that, just so you guys can see that whole thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed Kerbal Space Program, episode number 18, with this guy here, Dirk13. If you couldn't tell, I just gestured to myself like a badass, because I am. And remember, folks, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye-bye.